And let's move on to the president's tax plan, if you will. Here's the president's chief economic advisor, Gary Cohn. Let's take a listen.
If we allow a family to keep another $1,000 of their income, what does that mean? They can renovate their kitchen. They can buy a new. They can buy a new car. They can take a family vacation. They can increase their lifestyle. That's what our tax plan is to do.
Does this at all suggest to you that the administration is somewhat out of touch? I mean, $1,000, as far as I can see, doesn't get you a new car or renovate your kitchen.
Well, you just pulled out one small segment of Gary Cohn's remarks about the tax cuts. It didn't mention the increase in the child tax credit. It didn't mention the doubling of the standard deduction. It didn't mention overall the larger tax reform package and what it will do to grow the economy and raise wages for middle class families. This is a significant tax reform measure that will help no one more than the middle class. So as a Republican, I'm excited to be a part of these efforts and hopefully vote for the first true tax reform measure since 1986. When I was 7 years old was the last time that the Congress has passed any meaningful tax reform. It's been a long time coming, and with broad support in the Congress among all factions of Republicans, and I predict several Democrats as well, this tax reform measure will pass hopefully sometime before the end of the year. Sir,
may I ask what the average family income is in your district, and how much do you think each family can expect in the tax cut there?
Well, I don't know what the specific figures would be of precisely what that tax cut would equate to on a standard basis. I mean, some projections say, as you've already mentioned, $1,000 maybe on an annual basis, but that doesn't calculate the additional benefits of raising wages, of creating more good-paying jobs in the economy in districts like my district in Northeast Indiana, which has the most manufacturing jobs of any district in the country per capita, where we'll see an increase in wages in those manufacturing jobs and more jobs, more good-paying jobs in the economy. All of this equates on a larger basis to what we're looking for, which is 3 to 4% GDP growth on a sustained basis, which we haven't seen in a very long time. Which would not only grow the economy, but put us on the right track to reduce deficit spending and even turning the tide to begin the process of reducing the national debt.
And sir, I do want to get right now to the analysis that we've seen suggesting the tax cuts are going to add $2.6 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. Would you sign on for that, given you want to lower the national debt?
I do. It's one of the reasons I ran for Congress. My daughters are 8, 6, and 4 years old, and as you know, the national debt just passed $20 trillion a couple of weeks ago for the first time.
Right.
But this is one side of the equation. Tax cuts and tax reform will grow the economy and increase the tax base, which every economist tells us that it will do.
It will also grow the national debt as well, though.
And the other side of the equation is to reduce spending. And that's what we have to do in combination with this tax reform measure to begin the process of reducing the national debt. Both of those work together, and this Republican Congress is committed to doing both sides of that equation, tax reform and reducing spending. And if we do that, we will see a turning of the tide and a reducing of the national debt for the first time in my lifetime.
Congressman, there is an analysis that puts the amount that the president could save under this proposal at about $1 billion. But here's how the president responds when he's asked about it.
So you wouldn't benefit under your tax plan?
No, I don't benefit. I don't benefit.
You don't think more people benefit?
In fact, very, very strongly, as you see, I think there's very little benefit for people of wealth.
Well, this new analysis by the Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center suggests this plan would overwhelmingly benefit the wealthiest Americans and businesses. The president would clearly benefit. Why deny it?
I can't speak on behalf of the president in that regard, but who I can speak on behalf of is the middle-class, hard-working families who come from my district, who are desperate for tax relief, looking for this tax reform package to pass so that they can see their wages rise once again, see more good-paying jobs that will attract future generations to stay in places like Northeast Indiana that I represent. We will all benefit from this tax reform package, and that's why I am 110% in support of this tax reform measure, as are almost every one of my Republican colleagues and a number of Democrats as well.
Are you open to amending what has been proposed so that the wealthiest Americans are not those who overwhelmingly benefit from it?
Well, I'm not sure what that is supposed to mean. Obviously, this piece of legislation, when it's introduced, will evolve just like all legislation does through the legislative process. So we'll see what it looks like when it finally comes to a vote. But a tax reform measure that substantially reduces corporate tax rates will help no one more than the middle-class workers that make up the corporations that those tax cuts will impact.
What I was talking about, sir, is that those that make $750,000 a year are going to get over $100,000 a year in tax cuts. Those that make $66,000 a year are going to get about $600 in tax cut. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, and I'm focused on what it would do for the middle class. And even in your last segment with Kelly O, she went through a number of provisions in the tax reform package that would positively impact the middle class. That's why I support this tax reform measure. It broadly supports tax relief for the middle class, and that's what my constituents are looking for, and why I'm proud to support this tax reform measure.
Well, I will say, at least at this point, the Nonpartisan Tax Policy Reform Center, it does not support what you're saying, but I know a lot of these numbers still have yet to be fully fleshed out. So we'll agree to disagree at this point, and I hope to see you again, Congressman. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.